Is that kind of like the equivalent of when
comedians
would go on stage and then they would get like tomatoes, like back in the day they'd say like fruit would be thrown at them or whatever, like because they didn't think they were good.
Yes, it is the equivalent to that. Exactly.
But they were done with their set.
But they weren't bad.
Yeah.
They were just being dicks.
No,
that was trolls back in the day. Yes.
Wait, you got a story about butt flour?
No, I was just...
Larry was all excited. He's like, hold on, I want to hear about the butt flower.
Nobody wants to hear my stories. It's fine.
Well, I mean, Larry, if you got a story about a butt flower, bro, we're listening.
Yeah.
Bring it on.
Oh, actually, butt flower is the new cryptocurrency that I'm using.
That's where I'm going to start my next garden.
Butt flower?
Yeah, a butt garden? Dude, it's built-in manure. Which is what?
Compost.
Right.
Fantastic. That's brilliant.
It's like Miracle-Gro.
Is it?
One vegetable at a time. I'll grow carrots just for you.
Please. Just the baby carrots, though. The little stubby ones.
But
you know they shape those, right?
Shave them?
Shave them, too. Yes, they peel them and then they...
Larry, do they have flowers in Canada? How about vegetables?
It's too damn cold, right?
They don't have vegetables in Canada.
Aren't they like opposite us? Don't they have like 3 months of summer and then the rest of winter?
It's not
Australia.
It's not Alaska.
I didn't say that when you flush the toilet, it went the other way.
The hell? No, Disney.
I heard that's a myth, and you know what? I've been south of the equator, and I don't remember trying it.
You know who else has been south of the equator?
Your mom.
Wow. Jesus.
Sorry.
Girl's got to make a living. Listen.
Gobble.
She's listening.
Not anymore. She got tired of your shit.
Yes, we have flowers up here.
All right, real news or fake news? The fifth dentist. It doesn't matter. It's fake.
The news is fake.
The news is fake. Do we have a winner?
Yes, Larry. Larry wins.
Larry is the winner.
Canada, my home.
Flowers. Okay, butt flowers.
Sing O Canada. Play O Canada for him. You need to learn it on the harmonica.
Canada.
No, I don't know.
Okay, all right, good.
You really thought I was going there, didn't you?
Dude, Terrence and Phillips.
Right? Is that close?
Yeah, you guys have great comedy.
Hey, put my finger. Smell my farts. Hey,
I mean, for
kick the baby.
Right, you're referring to the nicest people in anywhere in the world. Like, Canadians are disgusting. They're like Nathaniel and Jill. Have you ever seen their post?
Oh,
it's
my
disgustingly
God.
fucking, oh my God, I love you so much I can't put my head out of your ass. It's like that. I'm just kidding,
I can't
guys.
put my flower out of your butt. There's your story, Larry.
So you guys have flowers, correct?
Wait,
Or
where
garden?
are
Do
we
you have a
going?
garden?
We've got the herb garden that we made.
What kind of herbs?
We got basil,
Special herbs. No.
rosemary. No.
7 herbs and spices.
Yeah, no, just 5. Just the fifth dentist recommendations.
How long did it take to grow them?
I don't know. We bought them, and then we keep them alive.
Did he send you the picture of it?
We're like, it wouldn't fit in the cupboard, so we built them.
So I did actually try the square foot gardening or a version of that. I used buckets, and it was so much work and so hard in the summertime to keep things going that what I yielded was not worth the effort.
Hold on. So a garden doesn't just consist of planting, watering.
Oh no! You had to move them because they might get too much sun. Like where I had it, it's hot in Florida. Sometimes they need to be watered twice a day. Then you get bugs on them. It took me forever. Almost all my broccoli was gone because I didn't know what a green worm was. Apparently, green worms eat your fucking broccoli. So yeah, it was a super pain in the ass. I was like, I'm just going to the store and buying what I want.
I mean, did you have any help?
No. I wasn't into it at the time. Now I'm into it.
Now you're into
Yeah.
it, and he's not.
No, not this time of year. That's the problem.
I built the foundation. And
yeah, we'll get there.
Yeah, I'm lazy in the
Are
summer.
you looking forward to? I mean, are you going to stick with it?
I would like to.
Like, what herbs do you have out there? Seriously,
With basil, rosemary, and then
That's
the other
it.
stuff is actually
Lavender,
like
lemongrass,
lemongrass
and
lavender to
citronella.
help with the mosquitoes, which is a nightmare. They don't work.
And that's the thing is, like, I like to cook. Not good at it. You know what I mean? But spices.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you can go buy a spice rack. It looks fucking great. But I have no idea what to do with them. Like,
That's-
even if I read and it goes, put this in soup
You
or
gotta
put
play.
this in that.
You gotta play. Just play.
He's the person that he could go into the refrigerator and pull things out and pull spices together and just put a meal together without measuring or without he could just come up with something that tastes good. I have to I need a recipe or I need to know what spice for what, but he'll just pull it together. And
it's a lot like creative musicians. It's like Red Calling making music versus her cousin being in an orchestra. You know, I just mix shit together. I'm an artist.
So doing that, you've done it for a while because I know you guys you spend some time in the kitchen. So through all this creativeness, right? What's the best thing that you've ended up making where you went, oh my God, that's fucking awesome? Or phenomenal, if you will.
I'll tell you when I first moved out, I thought it was brilliant. It was like that next step of ramen. So we're cheap, we're on a budget, but I ended up making shepherd's pie with frozen ground beef and the cheapest things you can buy and corn, and I thought that was pretty good. And the only spice I used, barbecue sauce.
On your shepherd's pie?
That's all I used.
That's blasphemy.
While I cooked it.
Blasphemy.
But it soaked in.
What are the ingredients of your shepherd's pie?
Oh, I don't. That was back when I was 19. That was 20-something years ago. But I threw corn,
Okay,
potatoes,
cheese,
and ground beef, and I thought there was one more thing, but maybe it was just
some people put
barbecue
peas
sauce.
or whatever in there.
I love.
Which I'm okay
peas.
with that.
Yeah.
But I've been places where you order shepherd's pie because it's one of my favorite things, and it's some weird ass shit. They put potatoes and not mashed potatoes.
Did like a sweet potato or no different types of potatoes.
Yeah, and
or they all gratin them.
Yeah.
that's the controversy that goes on down here in the Tampa area
The Cuban
what is a
sandwich.
Cuban sandwich? Is a Cuban sandwich, just certain meats
Without salami, with salami.
Do you have
if
pickles
you put lettuce
on it?
and
Do you put,
tomato and mayo. Yeah.
So the problem here is a Cuban sandwich, unless you go somewhere that makes it Cuban, is a ham sandwich with a piece of pork, and you know what I mean.
But see, this is where there's controversy because
pork
the salami,
is a ham sandwich.
The salami comes from the Italian version when they were in Ybor and they were making sandwiches, and the Italians would trade meats off.
Okay,
and so now we have salami. So now we have a different mutt. Now we have another question in the mix.
I understand that. Well,
but what is a true Cuban? That nobody
What's
really
a
knows.
traditional? If you were to say, someone had never been to the Tampa area and you were like, the one thing you need is a Cuban from X place, what would you say?
Oh, I don't know, but I know from
the talk
is a true Cuban is basically pork, like real pork, mustard, pickle, and a fucking piece of bread.
That's cute, but I'll tell you,
no cheese.
Yeah, you'll get a cheese.
Yeah,
You get a cheese. You get a cheese.
you get cheese, but or
it's American, right?
They'll add the ham is in there, even with the real Cuban. You know what I mean? But there's salami they'll put in there, but it's mainly just pork.
But you're talking about the boho pork, right? The nice, good marinated stuff that's been soaking.
Right.
Because I've been to places where they had a piece of pork, but it wasn't that stuff. The Charlie's up here, that food mart. That place, I don't care about the lettuce and tomato. I love that. That's fine. Put it on there. They make a great Cuban hybrid. And that's what I'll call it, is a hybrid.
They call it a Cuban.
I love that better than Cubans.
I hate ham, so I just don't eat Cuban sandwiches.
Yeah. Man, we talked about this. You like bacon, but hate ham.
You do realize it's literally... It's like saying... cucumbers and pickles are not the same thing. They are made from the same thing. But they have two completely different tastes to them. It's
I mean, if you fry up a ham, you get a really close bacon flavor. It's not as fat rendered.
It's not the same.
You see, you're a terrible cook. You already said that.
No, I've eaten very well cooked ham. I mean, I've tried it.
You got to use bologna.
Or flat hot dog, great. So, Stone Soup Company, are you familiar with them?
No.
Where's that, Nick?
Where's Stone Soup, Nick?
Company. It sounds like somewhere y'all would go.
Ybor, I believe.
That makes sense. There's a lot of places. So. I'm assuming that the Palm Sandwich Shop right there on Palm, just at the nip of Ybor, I'm sure they have a great Cuban. But I've been to the place over here, the Bodega, and I thought it was just okay.
And Nick, stay in your economy because you don't like ham. And you realize, I get worse looks from saying I don't like ham than when I say I'm afraid of roaches.
Really?
Yeah. Oh
no, I think you're a pussy.
Don't like ham. It's like no, it's terrible.
But you don't like it's not that you don't like roaches. You're afraid of roaches, and that's what's weird.
Oh yeah,
I wish we had that.
I'm going to throw roaches and ham at you. I wish we had that video
from when you're in the other room.
What was his name? Jerome dragging his balls on the carpet. Oh man, John, that was John's funniest moment, and it was never captured.
Yeah, I'll go into convulsion. Like they literally shake my insides.
Did you hear, what was it, last week, that the German cockroach has
It's
now...
becoming, yeah.
Yes. What do you feel about that, Stan? Tell me. What do you feel about that?
Hold on.
I'm moving to Canada.
The German cockroach is now immune to almost every single pesticide that there can be. So literally, when you spray them, and I knew this before, so apparently that the roaches used to die, but when they laid the eggs, the eggs would get immune to that specific pesticide. So then those eggs would hatch and they would move on, and then you might kill them, but the immunity would change. See?
So in New York,
it's evolution.
If you have roaches in New York, it's because you're filthy. If you have roaches here, it's because you live in fucking
it's
Florida.
in Florida, right?
They're
not roaches; they're palmetto bugs.
So, well, the German ones aren't.
No, right? No,
but the German ones aren't even because you're dirty either. The German ones penetrate.
But they're definitely, if they're there, you're dirty.
Right. Or you live in a trailer in fucking Florida.
So you're dirty.
Well, so when we first moved here, the first place we lived was a trailer. So all my food was in containers, like everything from my bread. I bought bread So one day we decided, I'm like, I can't take it fucking no more. We're bombing the place. So we bombed bombs over Baghdad, bombed the fucking place.
Oh.
Now that song's in my head.
So here's the worst part is we get in the car to leave for a few hours while this is happening. I forgot my wallet in the house.
Did you go in?
I went in.
I almost died doing that once.
I went in. They were already all over the ceiling, like Joe's apartment type.
They called them out.
And I'm going, like hyperventilating, got it and left. But when we came back to clean up, is where the point is. The mutations, this is 21 years ago. We're already taking place. Like, we'd go back in there, and they were already them with, like, little white side helmets on. You know what I mean? Like, they were growths, and they're still moving around. It's like, oh, my God. I mean, I left, obviously, until she cleaned it up.
Right.
But, I mean, it started then.
Oh, it's
so we're,
yeah.
Like, I can't, like, right now, I can't even imagine how strong, like, they could start an army.
Well, because the generation of mutation is a lot shorter. I don't know what the life expectancy of a roach is, but if it's under a year,
I don't know.
I mean, it's probably under a year.
Since prehistoric times?
No, but like an actual roach, like how long do they live
Until
to die?
you step on them.
You don't step on them. You run from them like a little girl, and then they have babies.
Until whatever chick is near me steps on them. You're not afraid of anything?
Oh, I'm afraid of everything.
Me.
I hate going outside. I'm afraid of people.
Are you afraid of anything ridiculous like that? Like uncontrollably, like where you're like,
People.
this is stupid as shit, but...
People.
I'm afraid of stupid.
Let's get better at that.
I'm not afraid of people. It's
just don't like them.
it's the awkward small talk.
Oh, like getting your hair cut.
Oh my God!
Oh, jeez.
So yesterday, I'm sitting there on my phone, and a lady went and one of the barbers went and took care of a client and took the money, and so I was getting my hair cut, and she said, "Why?" as in Yahweh, and I was like, "Wow, that's a very specific way to do that." And so then I was next, and she took me, and she found whatever opportunity she could to bring up that she was a Jehovah's Witness. Oh, so that was fun. I talked with her. I was like, "Oh, great."
You didn't say like less lip, more snip.
I asked her if she was at a Riverwalk because I see her people all the time.
And that's the thing is like it drives me nuts. Like you know me, I'll talk to you about any goddamn thing. Don't give me the goddamn bullshit day, weather, cockabuggy. You know what I mean? And then stop cutting my fucking hair while you like hold the scissors in your hands against my head. Look. That's where the less lip, more snip comes in.
Some people can't do that. Some people can't do their job and talk at the same time.
My last haircut, for the first time ever, I had an actual conversation, like a
back and forth
natural conversation.
I have a few
like
that I go see.
You just started talking about it. I'm like, I literally tipped her a little more just because of that. I'm like, and she just kept snipping, like you're talking and cutting. Woo!
Then you want to go back and see
and
her.
You're not even a gay guy. I don't get it.
So I don't like the first search that came up when I said, "How long do roaches live?" It says roaches can live up to 10 days with their heads cut off.
How long do they live crushed?
With an incubation period. Let's see. So females may lay as few as 14 eggs or 36 eggs. with the incubation
36
German cockroach
eggs.
life cycle 28
36
days.
babies.